love it. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I'm here with Kat. So when I decided to do the podcast, I initially had you in mind because we keep bumping into each other, and you always have like amazing fashion, and you always like put yourself together very well. I mean, besides like you have eye candy husband, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your main accessory.
He's a ginger, so yeah.
So what's your fashion inspiration? I just want to jump right in.
My fashion inspiration. That's a really good question. I think I definitely feel like Fran Drescher from The Nanny. You know, I really like her style with the whole like the two pieces, the cords,
and the
colors,
little suspender things that hold them together.
Yeah, the tights. I think anything that has just like bright colors. I'm trying to think who else like Cher. I've always loved like the 70s. Like I just love loud, flamboyant colors. Anything like that the Bratz dolls wore.
Anything that bears midriff, that's like our thing.
Yes, midriff and legs.
Yeah.
Anything with cleavage.
Yeah.
You already
so
know
like
there.
look at, show them the fur on your, yes. Oh, and your bag.
Oh yeah.
So this is the first thing I noticed when I saw her today.
Yeah.
And you can put coffee in it.
Yeah, I don't have a proper Starbucks cup to represent that, but let's just imagine it's right here. Yeah. And this is perfect for a teacher like me because, you know, I get tired of carrying and juggling so many things. So, yes.
Speaking of teaching, so I see your outfits when you teach too are really out there and flamboyant. Do you get a lot of your kids like saying, "Oh my gosh, I like your outfit today," or are they just kind of used to it and go about it?
No, I do get every once in a while when I'm extra flamboyant, they will comment. A lot of them will comment every day pretty much if they like something. They will request specific colors for me to wear. So like for the month of February, they want me to wear only pink and red. So as you can see today, like my whole outfit
is pink and
red. Little skirt.
And her little red, she has like her little boots.
Yes,
pink
my
boots.
little pink cowboy boots.
So cute.
They'll tell me like specific colors, like, oh, can you wear blue tomorrow? And I'll be like, okay. So I try to wear something blue, and they get super excited. I need to start recording like their reactions. Of course, I can't record their faces, but I'll do like where it's like just me. Yeah. And they're so cute the way they're like, oh my gosh, like you just slayed, and you know, like they're
like it's dripping,
yeah,
or whatever, and it's all drip.
Whatever little cute colloquial things that they'll say.
I love that.
But yeah, but sometimes when I do wear stuff, they won't get like the reference. They'll immediately go to like their age group. So like I wore all black one time because someone asked me to wear all black, and they're like, you look like Wednesday Addams.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just because I had like braids and I was wearing black, and that was like immediately what they associated with, and I thought that was
and it's really
funny.
popular.
Yeah, it's really popular, and so anytime I wear black though.
And what grade do you teach?
I teach 5th grade English.
Yeah.
So it's English.
My son's a
and
5th grader.
Oh wow.
My youngest.
Your youngest.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
and he's
him.
deaf. Yeah. So he's very challenging. To go back to your fashion again.
No, it's fine.
So you do these TikToks too.
Yes.
And you have over 3.3 million views.
Yeah.
People are really fascinated with the things that you pick to showcase because you do sometimes records. You've done a variety of things.
Yeah.
I mean, even all the recent one you had with the like Valentine's, where you're showing all the Valentine's goodies, and you did that photo shoot kind of thing, and you do that pretty much with every outfit.
Yeah.
But I have noticed on your TikToks that you do like renditions of outfits, so you like do one and then another for the different, like that one. I was like, man, I should probably start filming myself more.
I mean, you're so photogenic, and it's just I see my TikTok as just to create another creative outlet. You know, I have like maybe 2 or 3 videos that went viral.
Yeah.
But they're also different. Like the first one that went viral was a vinyl that I got from WandaVision from Walmart, and then the second one was me buying stuff off of Amazon from my backyard.
Yeah.
And then another one was the Harry Styles concert, where that was very specifically fashion. You know? And another one was my classroom that I decorated Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So I think the algorithm is very confused with me because I have so many different niches.
Yes.
And I don't want to be like bogged down because there's so many interesting things that I want. I don't want to be like a one-trick pony, so to speak. Like I don't want to be defined by my job as like that's the teacher. You know, like fashion always came first to me. It's how I express myself. But I love music. I love Lana Del Rey, so you'll always see a Lana Del Rey like folklore on there.
I do. I have.
And I love just anything, and I don't mind hopping on a trend every now and again. So if Walmart stuff has cute stuff, I want people to know too because I love seeing those videos. And letting people know about brands like this, like Finesse, great brand. They're super eco-friendly. Kate Gabriel with this brand, like this purse, is super affordable. Like And I wouldn't know about these things if I didn't go on TikTok and like saw other people reviewing them.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't gatekeep here. We're not about that. But
we share the love.
But the only thing that's little like trepidatious about being a teacher and on TikTok is like, of course, some of the stuff I wear are obviously very adult and form-fitting. And so of course when my students find my stuff, they're just like, I found your TikTok, and I always get scared. I'm like, oh, which TikTok did they find? You know?
Yeah,
not that I'm
I can
super
see that.
risque, but you know, for a more conservative town that I'm in,
and then just
parents might not like it.
Yeah, that's what I say. Have anybody like come across and tried to?
Ironically, I've only gotten heat for videos about me venting about like the qualms of being a teacher, like standardized tests or like maybe not getting enough lunch break, and that will get me in trouble. But it's very interesting, like the hairstyles videos. I always got scared that I would have a conversation with my people and they'd be like, why are you wearing this outfit and this and that? But at the end of the day, it's also outside of school. On the weekend.
You have a life.
Personal life. So I haven't that hasn't brought up to me. The kids will say they find me, they follow me, I have to block them. I have to constantly remind them that I'm a teacher, it is inappropriate, I'm an adult, you're a child. You cannot follow me till you're 21. How about that? And even then, still, it's weird. I mean, you can see my video, don't like it, don't save it, just keep on going. And so I do appreciate some of the kids. Some of the kids will be like, it's illegal, right? We can't follow you. And I'll be like,
no, it's illegal.
Sure.
It's very much illegal.
Can't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's cringe. And I'll try to use their words to kind of make them like, so when I say stuff like, guys, that's like seriously cringy, it's like to them, it's like, oh wow, like I'm doing a big no-no. Like that's to like them
sus.
being cringe,
like she's so sus.
She's so sus. I'm like, okay.
That's suspect. You just can't say the rest of the word.
I know, especially me being an English teacher, I'm like suspicious.
That's so sus.
But you know, I enjoy new words coming in and again, so I never want to be like, as I get older, a few persons that's like, that's not how you say that. And I'm just like, I want to embrace all that stuff. But yeah, no, I love my TikTok. I want to try and do more outfit videos. They're just so tasking after a while because you know, once you put yourself out there on social media like that, and you're like, everything else I have is private, but my TikTok is open because I think I'd like to one day maybe become a stylist, you know, maybe do sponsorships or do stuff where people like send me PR stuff, you know,
or even being like a style coordinator for like a celebrity. Like you'd be really good at that.
It'd be so fun, and I'm just like, wow, like I mean, and you never know where life's going to take you, and so I like to keep my options open, and fashion's always been something I go back to. And I always hate the resentment that I get from other teachers where they're like, oh, well, you're not always going to dress like this, or, well, it's your first 2 years of teaching, so, you know, wait until you get to year 8, you're not going to dress like this anymore. And I'm like, you guys don't know how long I've been dressing like this. And
like,
it's
like
anybody
your personality.
who knows me, this is my thing. And so I always hate those kind of comments. Like, it's just like, well, I'm not going to get complacent. This is like an exciting thing to be, is just enjoy life. And, you know, especially, you know, we
but you need to be vivacious for the children to make them, like, be able to express themselves when they get older and not be
feel
afraid.
Relatable. Because I think the reason why my students also maybe enjoy having me as a teacher is that maybe I don't come off as like super stuffy and old. You know, and a lot of them would be like, oh, I thought you were like in high school, or I thought you were like 16, but then someone would be like, I thought you were 35, and I was like, oh, okay, and I was like, I don't think that would prompt
I still get ID'd for alcohol.
Thank you very much. But no, I love it. The only thing I will say about going viral on TikTok is, like, the first time it was cool because my face, my voice, nothing was in it. It was just my hands, and it was just the vinyl, and I was like, ooh, look at this. And, you know, I got hate comments in general, but not ugly ones, more just like, wow, you're using a suitcase record player, like, don't drop the needle down like that, like, you're being too rough, and, like, all these people that, like, know it all about me, try to critique. So when I went viral for the Harry Styles video, got a lot of like negative comments either about my body, about my face, about my teeth, about the fact that I shot from Shein and that I'm supporting slave labor, and that I should be ashamed of myself. And so like whenever I do go viral, I get, not that I get scared, but I get anxious. I'm like, okay, what is the world going to tell me is something wrong with how I'm doing something?
But what's good about them telling you though, you don't have to accept it and go on. Exactly. You could even like make comments not available.
Yes. Yeah. And my thing is, especially because since I am a teacher, I do like approved comments. So if there is something that is kind of like hateful and just negative in general, I won't approve the comment. And And at the same time, like, I don't want, if my students are somehow seeing my stuff, I don't want to see that kind of discourse on there.
Yeah,
It's not healthy and it's not good.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want people to think that that's okay to how to treat random people on the internet.
Yeah.
So
that is a good life
that's my
lesson.
biggest, like, takeaway from going viral.
Yeah.
And the kids just eat it up. They're like, oh, she has like 10 million followers and stuff. I'm like, I do not have 10 million followers. I have 11.1K. I lost it too. So I was 11.2K and then I lost it. And I was just like, yeah, because I think these people realize I'm pretty boring. I either post random stuff about my dogs, Lana Del Rey, or outfits.
Yeah.
So
but I think those like, three things are very interesting.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
mean, if you get on, and you have way more followers than I do. How long have you been doing TikTok?
Oh man, it's super duper recent. I want to say, like, I started taking it real seriously during COVID, right when we were in quarantine. I just started posting random videos, and then it wasn't really until like I went viral that I was like, oh, like I have interests. Like I like Marvel a lot, you know. But after a while, I was like, I don't want to just post Marvel stuff all the time too, because that community can be a little finicky sometimes. So, and I'm like, but also so are the other stuff that I like to do. But it's hard. It's very hard because with everything that you like, there's always like the dark side to it. So
there's always a critic.
There's always a critic. So I'm just like, okay. But I'm still just, at the end of the day, I never want to make it to a point where I make it private. I want to have like a video diary of my life.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of what I'm putting out there. People always tell me, oh, what if somebody posts on the front page an outfit that you're wearing? You would think twice about what you're wearing. That was something somebody told me, like, as a teacher. What if they post something that you're wearing out and about on the front page of the newspaper one day? How would you feel? I'm like, I'd be awesome.
I'd be like, I hope it was, right? I hope it's the outfit.
Most of the stuff I wear is pretty cute.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being probably very vain and narcissistic, but I'd be like, I'd be happy if it's front page news because I'm cute. My outfits are cute. So
they are.
I have nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
So if they think that's gonna like hurt me and make me self-conscious, it doesn't.
Yeah, but it actually just makes you like
more empowered. Yeah.
It's like when like, don't touch that, and you're like,
I'm just like, touch it anyway.
Yeah.
I wasn't that aggressive, but I am an Aries, so
I am too.
There we go.
So when's your birthday?
Yeah.
March 22nd.
March. Okay, I think we've discussed this. I'm April.
Yeah.
I'm April 8th.
My brother's the 9th. We did discuss it because he's an Aries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We get it. We're awesome.
You're a cuspid, though.
Yes, I am. I'm weird. I'm just like rising, whatever.
Yeah.
I need to do more research on it.
Aries, we fire.
We fire. We are tempered, but we are very passionate.
Very, very passionate.
Very
and driven.
Very driven.
And headstrong.
Yes, like, definitely on that.
Like if you think about it. So I have my degree in education. I couldn't hack it.
It's okay. Hey, I have no judgments here. I mean,
I couldn't hack it. I was coming home to the same age group. My kids were in 3rd grade. I was 3rd grade.
Right.
I thought I was going to be like Dangerous Minds and go in there and be like Michelle Pfeiffer with this, in a more ghetto area of Corpus.
You're just going to uplift the community.
Yeah. And I get there and we get new like yard equipment for the kids and play equipment.
Yeah.
I leave. I come back the next day and it's thrown over the fence and tagged up and busted. And it's like these are for little kids.
Yeah.
Like why would you do that?
I know.
I got very discouraged very quickly with the parents.
Yeah, when there's no parental support, it's just like, what am I doing here?
Yeah,
it's like you're working against a tide that never stops coming.
Or just like the fact that I knew that there were parents that just didn't care. Like that's so heartbreaking. It's just like, how could you not care about your child's education, or at least what they're doing in school, or point a finger always back at the teacher. Yeah, like, and it's like, well, you're with them 8 hours a day, and I'm like, but you are raising them.
Yeah, you should care.
Yeah,
it's always mind-boggling to me.
That was really hard for me.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to accept, and I think that's really what pushes teachers out. It's either that or lack of support in general with school.
Yeah. So like I couldn't hack it. I ended up becoming a personal trainer and a nutritionist, and decided like I can still teach nutrition. I can still teach like all these other things. To adults.
Yes, of course, right. And it's
I still do kids like micro monkey stuff, but
that's cute.
I'd rather be with adults.
Yeah.
So I am like I commend you.
Thank you.
Because you're like 2 years in, 3 years in.
Yes, 2 years in, and it'll be obviously next year 3 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that. It still feels very new, but they always say that a lot of teachers will leave within their first 3 to 4 years, or 3 to 5 years. If you don't leave at that
first
5
year,
it's okay. Don't feel bad. Like, it's just not.
It's just not my thing.
It's not for everybody, and then, and then there's not to say that you're less than or I'm more superior than you. It's not that at all, because at the end of the day, what are you willing to put yourself through?
Yeah.
And it's like there are some things that you can't hack, and there's some things you
and
can.
I have a problem with authority.
Yeah. So
like working in a department where there was somebody above me there's somebody above them, and
right.
There's this like tier of command, but then I'm the new teacher, so you're not really like
there's a pecking order.
Yeah, and
yeah.
it's like I have seniority,
difficult.
like the older alumni people, like
it's very political.
It is,
and and it's very difficult to try and like feel like you can have friends and allies and be like where are the people treating me, and where can I be
female
safe?
Dominated.
Yeah, it's very female dominated, but even then.
But then the higher ups are dudes.
Yeah, it's a very weird. That's a weird.
So that was like a
big.
So
And
I guess
the majority of it too is depending on what district you're in or what demographic too. Like a lot of the stuff we're teaching it tends to be like white centered and English speaking, but you have a lot of students that are English as a second language, so it's not necessarily fair to force them to speak a certain way when. That's not the majority of it. And you want to be more open-minded to not like just enforce it, which is what I love, at least so far, with what I'm learning in school, is that we're really focusing on letting them keep their native language and not make them feel ashamed of not being able to speak perfect English. But we're still going to teach them, it's great, but it's hard. It's very hard, because I'll see things and I'll see in certain school districts like Teacher of the Year, and I was there the other day and I noticed all of them were white, and there was only one Hispanic teacher that got Teacher of the Year, and so it was kind of just like those are things that I noticed.
Yeah, but
because,
it's true.
We're in a relatively it's Texas. There's a big Hispanic population and other races and ethnicities, but I don't know. It's just stuff that I noticed. It doesn't rub me the wrong way, but it's just stuff that you can't help.
You're aware of. Yeah.
You not be aware of, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now how much change can we make?
Yeah.
But gotta do what you can. So I can see how you kind of were just like turned off by all that too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I commend you for having those boundaries though. Like I'm just a glutton for punishment. So
I mean,
I know.
But also like you don't have any children, so you get to leave the children there and go home.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a man-child, but I mean,
I know,
and your babies, your dogs, and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, so that was like really, you're catering to these kids, and then you go home, and it's like you gotta keep going.
But I still spend so much money on them too.
Yeah,
so
right.
all the snacks and prizes they want for me to incentivize them learning, when it's like y'all should just want to learn. Please. But and it's definitely put into perspective too, like me being a young woman in my first marriage and just in general newly married, but not by much, 2 years, but
still
everyone expecting me to already have kids, and I'm kind of just like, I don't know if I necessarily ever really want any, but only because I know how selfish I am. I know how much money I spend on myself, on my clothes, poor spender, and I'm kind of just like, growing up, the oldest of 6 kids, my mom was a waitress, and so we lived off her salary, which was tips. My dad never really worked, so it was hard watching them try to make ends meet, and I'm kind of just like, I didn't blame them for bringing children into this world, but at the same time, like, I couldn't imagine doing that.
Like
and then
bringing kids in when you can't afford it.
And it's like,
I can tell you from experience, it's fucking hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like really fucking hard.
But even if you're well off, a parent's job is hard no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter the socioeconomic status. Of course, it's harder when you're in poverty and middle class.
Young.
Yeah, and
I was
young.
19.
Yeah, exactly. So, but of course, I'm not putting any shame on anyone who wants to have kids, but at the same time, there's this huge
everybody
stigma
has their choice.
for people that don't want any, and I think, I don't know, I'm very vain too, so I'm like, I don't know, do I want to get stretch marks? Do I want to lose all the progress I'm making on my mental and physical health?
But you can always get it back, girl.
I know, but it feels like it could be harder, and there's a lot more like health.
You can barely tell.
Okay.
Like you see my news.
Everybody's different.
Yeah.
I know everybody's different, but at the same time, like there's always just feels like there's a lot of like health implications.
There are.
And it's a little scary, because they don't talk about that. And so it's like, as a woman, we want to make an informed decision.
Yeah, and you know what? It's really great though if you do decide to have babies. point in your life because your body's mature.
Yeah, that's true.
I was a late bloomer.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I had a baby right after, so like I didn't bloom until like 17, 16, you know what I mean?
And then
19, my body wasn't mature enough, you know, my mind definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
But, and then when I had my baby,
well, the body,
later on in life, my body was ready. I mean, my body bounced back so much. I did a bodybuilding competition.
I always hear that's the first two, like your body's like snaps right back into it. Mom had 6 of us, so
3. So, and all of them are natural.
Yeah. So
I think the epidural like fuck women up, and that's I really do.
Really?
Between like the epidurals and the because you can't feel what you're
right.
So if you can't feel down there and you're pushing so hard, you're tearing.
What damage you're putting on your body.
Yeah, like that's because I could feel everything. I could feel when I needed to just shift my hips, and they didn't have to go in there and move the. You know what I mean? But I was a gravity builder.
Yeah.
You know, if I could stand up and give birth, that's what I did. Like I pulled my kids out.
Wow, you're not convincing me. It's scary. I'm just like,
but nobody tells you though. Like,
no, nobody tells you. Like my sister mentions hair loss, of course, postpartum, the risk of leukemia,
cervical, any kind of uterine cancer. Like
if you get a C-section, the risk of the stitches, infections,
and they don't tell you like when you're going into labor that it feels like a big poop. Nobody says like, dude, it feels like you know.
You're taking a big shit.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like,
oh my gosh.
My first, birth, I was like, Mom, I have to poop. She's like, that's the baby coming. Let me go get the doctor. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, really? This whole time you could have just said that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
When you need to feel like you gotta take a huge shit. Like, I mean, a huge one.
Yeah.
And like, okay, so my other 2 boys, like, it was just like, okay.
Yeah, it's like walk in the park.
I just knew it was coming. Once that point, I was like, okay, it's time. Yeah. Instead of doing that, like, guessing game, and then you get there, and then you're preterm labor, and you're not, you're this, that. Like, I waited till I had to take the boo-boo.
Yeah.
The biggest shit in my life.
Gotta love that.
So that's why they say, you know, it feels like you're shitting a baby. And that's so true. So just beware if you ever have children. Or if you're a pregnant friend, be like, wait for that being
ready for that shit.
Yeah. Let's go time.
Let's
go.
go.
How does Marshall feel about like the kids? Does he think about like?
I really don't think he wants any.
No?
He really doesn't. We try to talk about like having a family and stuff like that, and he's kind of just like, yeah, we're just like sure and okay. And I don't think. I think his worry is too like how he grew up with his family. Like they were like they filed for bankruptcy during that big time with the recession, and it was kind of just like they were in a lot of debt. It's like family growing up. So I think his biggest fear and concern is just like not being financially able to care for them. And you know, I'm in a different point in my life where I do have a career, I have a salary, and he's just on a regular wage job. You know, and he's not being paid like $7.25. But you know, and at this point in his life too, I think with his college degree, he was hoping to be doing a little bit more with it. And so I think in his eyes, he wants to be more settled and secure before really entertaining
the idea.
kids.
Yeah, that's totally legit though.
I think too, like, and so his biggest thing is like, you know, building up his credit. Very, very reasonable and sensible. Mine is just, they're cute and I kind of want one, and like I grew up with taking care of all of my siblings because I'm the oldest of 6 kids, so it's kind of just like I have this innate like maternal instinct, which is why I'm a teacher.
But I can also see you had so much responsibility on you when you were younger, growing up and raising your siblings that for an adult you're like I already raised
did
kids.
it. Like it's kind of just like, and that's not to say like I was neglected or my mom neglected them, but at the same time, like when she was the primary breadwinner, I just naturally took up the cause, and even as an adult now, I'm checking in on them and making sure they're okay, and we're still communicating with each other. And after a while, I'm kind of just like, I am not a mom. I'm not your mom, and I need to set those boundaries where I'm just like, I can't like fixate so much on your own growth and your development anymore, because it's like, if like my brothers are doing things or acting a certain way, or they like, you know, for example, this might be controversial, and you know, like everybody in my family wanted to get the COVID shot, but except for my mom and brother, which was really interesting because my mom's very health conscious, and for some reason she was feeding into a lot of like false Facebook articles, you know, and stuff like that, and it frustrated me a lot that my brother wouldn't at least listen to reason. He didn't have to like feel the same way I did, but like at least research it, educate himself, and see how he feels about it. And after a while, I was kind of like, you know what, I need to take a step back because I can't control his life. I'm not his mom, and I can't enforce a certain thing on him at the end of the day, and it's hard because he feels like a parent.
Yeah,
no,
you're
it's
still
just as a
concerned.
parent. Yeah, and it's like
still want to be a voice of reason in his head.
Yeah, and so it's kind of just like, but it's interesting like that, you know, everybody else did, and it's kind of funny because I thought my dad was going to be the more like, because he's always kind of given off the conspiracy vibe kind of guy, but he was like the first one to get it, and I was like, you're always big on like government this and government that, like we don't know what the government's doing, and
but then
not that it's
working
harmful,
in the school district, you had to. It was mandatory.
It was mandatory.
So like you honestly.
And I still wear a mask when I'm with my kids too, because I think I like the adoption of like the Asian culture where they wear masks if you're sick, to just wear one because it's common courtesy, and I think that's something I think I want to adopt from now on
and just keep implementing it.
Yeah, just because like, and that's, you know, and I don't care if you wear one or not, and especially my kids too, but like me as a teacher, I would hate that I was the reason why that child got sick.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'd be upset if I got sick because this child did not wash his hands or, you know, put his boogers everywhere too. And so I don't know. I just, and then I think it makes them scared of me more. They just see my eyes. They don't see my face. I'm very much more serious and commanding because I'm like a ninja.
That. Yeah. Well, I can see that.
But yeah, so I think, you know, when me and Marshall get there too, because I think at the same time we want to build our relationship more. We do have our flaws as a couple. We get into our fights and our rifts, and at the same time it's like there are some things that we don't do that are probably healthy, and we want to work on that before we bring this child into this world. I'm just like, because I can be very negative, and then there's childhood trauma I'm still trying to process and you know, figure out how to navigate as an adult now with my anxiety and my depression and just in general, just anything that anybody that's been through abuse is trying to figure out. And I don't want to pass that on to my kids. I don't want to let that cycle continue, you know, because it was hard growing up the way we did, especially the fact that we were poor on top of that, you know. So I'm just like, I would be devastated if I do the same things my parents did to me, to my own children. I'm just like, I can't. And that's my biggest fear too. I'm just like, I can't do it.
Just breaking the cycle.
So that's the biggest thing. But I love kids. I love my dogs. Maybe I'll adopt one day. Well, we'll see, because adoption is so expensive too. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'll just spend money myself and go to concerts.
I have like 3 cats and a dog.
We have all kind of adoption.
That's like, those are our babies.
Oh yeah, you have 5, so you already know how many pets I have. Yeah. I have to stop that too. I was becoming.
Because you were fostering a lot.
Yes, I fostered like, I counted 56 puppies. That was a lot. Our carpet was disgusting. Like, it was like, it was brown, but it was browner than brown. I was just like, and it was hard because they're puppies. They don't know where to not pee and stuff like that. And they get parvo, so it'd be so hard to take care of more puppies because once parvo's in the carpet, it's done. And I had to give them like IV injections of, like, so they could stay hydrated. And it took a toll on me for a long time. Like, I was in it for like 2 to 3 years. I gained so much weight. My depression was at its worst because you're just like, you're volunteering for a shelter that will kill the pets if they do not get moved. If they don't get adopted, it's a euthanasia, it's a kill shelter in Kingsville. And it's just like, oh, I can't have these dogs die. Like, I'm just like, no. And so I'm like spending hours on end on my phone. Marsha could tell you, it's like he could never get a message or anything through me. He'd have to like feed me food sometimes too. And it being in like animal, it's like social work but for dogs. And in the community too, it's like what you felt, which is how in a way I left that, you know. Like, I was only in it for like 2+ years, and it was just like, no matter how much mess I picked up from the community that refused to fix their dogs, that refused to keep them in their yards, to take care of them. They're like, there was another litter of puppies in the thing. There's another puppy found in the basket on the side of the road, and it's kind of just like, when does it end? You know, like, because then they just look at volunteer groups like us to just fix the Band-Aid, and it takes its toll. Like, it's like, how many puppies am I going to be fixing and taking the ticks off of, and it's hard, you know. And as an animal lover, you're so like upset. Like, you're just like, why did people let this get to this point? And if you know you can't afford a pet, why would you have one? You know, and there's no shame. There's no shame if you, because I know for like when I first got my dog, I could not afford my dog, but I figured it out and I made it happen. I didn't let him run around the neighborhood and get other dogs pregnant or get itself pregnant. And I did the most reasonable things I could do with my college student budget, but man, like, I know, and there are means if you're not, you know, if you're of low income, you can still get a pet. There's so many great programs that offer reduced.
There really are.
There's so many.
And like, it's just a rehoming fee.
A rehoming fee, or even like go to the clinics and they offer like the $5 like flea and tick pills or the things. Like it's possible.
Yeah,
but it's all about
crazy.
education and just explaining to people like, hey,
the awareness that y'all exist, or I mean, if we just make them aware of how to care for animals better.
Yeah.
I think there's so many poor animal lovers.
I know. It's like, so after a while, I had to stop. It was just taking too much on me. I was like, I'm crying, I'm sad all the time, and I don't know why. I'm like, oh wait, yes, I know why. I'm just bleeding heart. So and especially during quarantine, it was harder because everybody was getting puppies, and it was just getting overwhelming. And I was just like, and it was like every day there was like a new kill list, and we only had a certain number of days to try and find homes for them, and it was hard. And I was driving back and forth, Houston, Austin, putting so many miles on our car. It's all volunteer work, mind you. I did not get paid for any of this, and I did, and like, I was just like, I can't.
It's just too much.
Yeah, I was like, I did my part.
You have 5 dogs now.
I have one is my mom's dog. She was not taking care of it too. That was a big thing. And then so I have Pebbles, which is my childhood dog. I have Maple Pizza, Avocado, Pop-Tart.
See, Pop-Tart's the one you film the most, right?
Yeah, she's the cute one. She's the star, you know. Like I think she would get more views, but you know the people haven't noticed her yet. I think she's ugly, but it's okay. She's like her mom. You give her a second look, and she's got something redeeming about her.
Yeah, you're so funny.
I'd like to think pets are an extension of ourselves, so I'm just like, definitely Pop-Tart is like the ugly duckling, and I'm her, and we love each other. We're cute and small.
That's so cute. No, I have 3 cats. Mm-hmm. So you named yours like food?
Yes.
Mine are all named after movie characters.
Oh, cute.
So there's Willow, the little midget movie.
Yeah.
That's my...
Yeah, that's your baby.
So I have a midget obsession. And it stemmed from me being a child and watching that movie. Because now I like to watch midget wrestling. Yeah. I like little people. I think that they're interesting.
Yeah. I think it's cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
And then Baby, obviously, Dirty Dancing. Don't put Baby in the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Nico, I got from a comedian that lived in New York City. And so he's an alley cat, like legit.
Yeah.
But his name is Nikko. But my little brother's name's Nico. Well, Nicholas.
Okay, right.
And he was named after a Steven Seagal character, Nico.
Okay.
And so it just kind of like, and then I got a cat named Nico, and so I can adopt that because I didn't want to change his name. And when we got him, he was like, he's only 5 years old, blah, blah, blah. We take him to the vet, girl. He's like 8.
Oh, shit.
He had to have all his teeth removed because he's like so old.
Really, at 8, they already started moving teeth?
Well, he was not taken care of.
Oh, right, because he was an alley cat.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Oh,
and then
okay.
He lived with, so we ended up getting him all situated and stuff. But so, and then we have Scarlett. Mm-hmm. She's TikTok famous.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Sam put a video of her getting hit by a car and just like bounced off and like tumbled and then just like ran back in because she was chasing a cat.
You have to send me that. That was so
cute. When you were saying like there's some like negative people out there,
I'm sure they were like got after him.
Yeah,
like what kind of pet owner are you?
Yeah, owner of the year. Like why would you put that on? See, personally, I haven't seen the video. He made her go famous with these last 2 weeks we were speaking of.
Yeah.
And so I still don't want to watch it.
Are you just worried it just looks really aggressive?
Yeah, I guess. And
like jarring to see, maybe?
Yeah.
But we know that
even though
is the pet okay?
She's fine.
Okay.
Like, she's totally fine. Like, there's not even a scratch on her. It just, I think to people it looks worse than it was.
Oh, okay.
But I just personally...
Did you at least put the caption, she's fine? And okay.
They want to do a follow-up video.
Give us an update. Yeah, I think you should. I think that'll definitely get your second viral video.
Yeah.
Because everyone will tune in to see that.
Yeah.
But honestly, there are lots of videos like that with pets getting into really funny situations, and they're fine. There was this one that I saw the other day that this guy was in front of an elevator and he was texting, and off to the corner, you don't see it right away, but there's a dog on a harness, like I guess the owner left it on the outside of the door, and somehow it's just hanging outside of the door. And the guy didn't notice until he looked up. He's like, "Oh shit!" And he has to unharness it, and he's holding it. And of course, it's funny but scary at the same time. Because imagine if that dog was on an actual leash, he'd be hanging by its neck. Yes. Yeah. So, but it's obviously. It's kind of funny and also kind of freaky. You see videos of cats jumping from the high ceiling, get hit by the fan, and but they're fine.
But they're fine. But people were kind of giving him some backlash.
There'll always be backlash. But there's always some naysayers. out there.
But they still watch the video, and we still got their views, so we win.
Exactly. And it's still conversation.
Yeah.
And, you know, let them argue in the comments. There's always going to be someone to defend you in the comments. I always like that. Whenever they have something negative to say, they'll have something really witty to say back. I'm like, oh, well then are you going to go take care of the animal? Or are you going to send him like money to get it fixed or whatever, you know? So it's always funny.
My TikToks, I do a lot of impressions, or I use other people's words with like my mannerisms, you know what I mean?
Lip sync to them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I do more of those. They always have hidden meanings in them. Yeah. I pick them, you know, precisely for like how I'm feeling at that moment, or what I'm going through, or the person I want to say fuck you to.
You're right, but you don't.
But I don't. I mean,
don't be as direct.
I do. I say hashtag bye Patricia.
Yeah. There you go.
Go fuck yourself. You
right.
know? But you know, I think that you're right. It gives us a different kind of voice, even though we're using someone else's words.
Yeah.
And I think,
especially if you're using a trending sound.
Yeah. So I love TikTok.
It's so
it's made me more
crazy.
Narcissistic, I think, though, because I watch my own over and over.
That's funny. I don't think I watch my own, but I think I'm more self-conscious. But you're gorgeous, so
you're gorgeous too, girl. I said that when we were in our movie.
Oh yeah.
And we got to like walk around in lingerie. By the way, so everybody, we were in a movie. Yes. We're not going to say the movie, but we were in it.
We were in it,
and we were the hottest ones in it.
It was a great time.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a long shoot though. We were there for so long. Oh my god!
So
when did we get out? Like 3 a.m.
Yeah, it was insane.
So tired. I was like, get me out of this.
But it was a good experience.
It was a really good experience. I loved going to the little premiere.
Me too. We all dressed a little. Yeah, it was so cute.
It was so fun. I love doing stuff like that.
So that's how we initially met.
Yes, I believe. Was it?
Because I recruited you for it.
You know what?
Because your friend,
my friend, yes, who is also volunteering with me in the animal stuff.
Yes, she was like, you need to meet her.
Yeah, and then she told me. Yeah, and then she told me. Yeah, because she knew John. She knew John.
Yeah,
I remember now. Yeah, and then I went over there. I tried to go in my cutest outfit.
Yeah,
I wore my like educated Latina shirt.
And we all showed up.
Yeah,
and it was the first time I met you.
Yeah, it was fun. And then I think we did a couple of shoots together. So what is it called? The trade for. Or photos for trade.
Yeah, TFP.
TFP, yeah, we did a couple of those. Those are fun.
Yeah, those are fun. And like
some makeup stuff.
Yeah, I was like, man,
we did the parade.
Yes, we did.
That was fun.
We did do
that was really cool.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was such a long time ago.
It was.
I was still in college.
Yeah, you were. Oh my god.
That's crazy. I look back at those like photos. We did like the fashion show with us.
Yeah, we did.
Like that. Like, man, what a crazy time. What a specific time for fashion too, where we were just like really into like chokers or like.
You know what? And then COVID hit. And it was like.
I know,
But it's spicing up, man.
Yeah.
Things are happening around Corpus and Kingsville. Like we'll start getting out there more.
Yeah.
And then the last time we bumped into each other was a sing bar.
Yes.
And that's like.
That was awesome.
I was so excited. I was like, I know that's her.
I've been wanting to like message you to see if we can like meet up again because I love karaoke. You know how much
I just wrote an article.
I am. Did you?
Because I write for the Crossroads newspaper.
Oh, okay.
And so I do the entertainment section.
Oh, cool.
And so like my first article was about bands and open mics and things.
Yeah.
Then my second one was about comedians and their open mic.
Yeah.
And this one was about karaoke.
Yeah.
And so I mentioned Sing Bar, and then I'm working with Star Rise Entertainment.
Okay.
Lou, he's like amazing, and he does all sorts of entertainment, and he does bingo and emceeing. He's his own brand. He makes the karaoke more of like your personal concert. He does like the smoke
lighting,
and the light, and he gets out in the crowd and like
hypes everyone up.
He doesn't just stay in the booth, and he's super vivacious.
I
took him to go get a makeover today.
Yes, you were telling me about that. You need to keep me posted on that. I'm excited.
Yeah, and then
I would love to like be there when he's hyping everyone up.
No, well, he invited us out tomorrow at the Salty Dolphin. Have you ever been there? I've never been there.
Never heard of it.
But he says like the crowd there is insane and it's consistent all the time.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, I'll come out and film you.
Yeah.
You know, because like I need content for his new look anyway. Speaking of look though, and fashion, he had like a lot of hair, and so he was like, what's the first, because we did an image consult, like what's the first thing? And I was like, a haircut. He's like, you need it.
Yeah.
So we go out there, we get him a haircut, and I heard him specifically say, like, don't give me like the Mexican soccer haircut. I didn't know what the hell that meant. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm giving him more of like, because he's Native American.
Right.
So I wanted him to have like a fade up, but like into the peak, you know what I mean? Kind of, you know, Native American-ish, whatever. And when we were done, he was like, dude, this is the haircut.
Oh,
this is the Mexican. No. And I was like, but I like it. Like, it looks good on you.
Yeah, it can be refined.
You know, and John, the other barber, was like, you know, if you don't like it in a couple days, we can, you know, fade it up or whatever else you want. Like, just, but I'm not going to touch it right now. Like, just sit on it, you know.
Yeah, sleep on it. Yeah. From there.
Yeah, and so, yeah, I didn't know that.
It's okay. It's okay.
I didn't know that there's a specific.
You don't want to like be, you know, very prejudiced of types of haircuts.
Well, I just didn't know
fine.
soccer players all had that kind of hair. I don't watch soccer.
I don't know.
Like, I just don't.
I know. It's a haircut.
Yeah.
To me. I have Marshall do like the comb over, and then he does like a 2 around, and that's it. But then one time he went to the barber shop in Kingsville, and he asked for what did he ask for? He wanted like kind of like the military style haircuts, but he didn't realize he asked for a high and tight, which means they shaved it all off. So he was like practically bald, and a ginger. So he like bald looking.
Yeah. like an old man.
He was just like, I look like a skinhead. I hate it. I was just like, he wore a beanie. Like, he was just like, this is not a good look for me.
No.
And I honestly started crying too. And not because I was super attached to the hair, because it was our anniversary, our 2-year wedding, or no, our 8-year wedding, relationship anniversary. And I was like, no, our pictures. And, you know, the vain person in me, I was like, you look so weird. Like, I was like, okay, but I got used to it. Honestly,
your
kind of
ears
like
look
it.
big.
I like it now. I honestly, I got used to it. It's like a very like skinny, chiseled Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
So you can't see it anymore because it's already grown out. Yeah. So I actually really don't like it right now. It's like in an awkward grown out phase where it's like
Chia Petty
out. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that from here.
Yeah. So it's just like, okay, but yeah, I think it's funny. He was just like, I don't like my hair, and he's like, I feel like I look like a Nazi. I'm like, don't overthink it and don't put that out there because you're not.
Yeah.
You're not that.
You're not.
You're a kind human being. You can never be such an ugly thing.
So what's your what's your most recent goal? Like, what do you like are working towards in your life besides like your career and your TikTok? Is there anything else that like you want everybody to know about you?
I don't think.
Because you're pretty self-explanatory when you look at your content. And your content's different on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. They're all kind of different, but similar.
They're consistent. Yeah, but they're all in the same theme, right?
Yeah.
I think for sure, you know, seeing all this really fun setup, I've always told Marshall like I would like to start doing more like singing, either like covers, and mainly just for me because I've always loved singing and I've always wanted to work on my voice.
And you sing great, by the way, people.
Thank you.
She sang so great that night. I was like, holy crap, I didn't even know you could sing until you got up there. I can't sing. I get up there and I forget the words and they're on the screen.
I think everyone can sing. I think it's just a matter of feeling confident in it, and I think that's
I can rap.
You can rap.
I can rap me some Cardi B, girl. There's not much to it. You just speak the words with attitude.
You gotta have
There's
that
not very, yeah, that's it.
I have a cadence, and there you go. No, I mean, I've always loved singing, and I think it'd be cool to like that could be like a new thing in my life where I maybe get voice lessons, you know, or like get just a fun little mic setup, and Marshall he loves messing around with the
songs, like make originals that people have to use.
Yeah, and that would be really cool. Or even if I don't even post it, it's more of just kind of like a therapeutic thing. You know, like because I'm just so shy with putting stuff out there. I don't mind doing karaoke. You know, it's different because it's like it's one and done.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. But if I'm gonna record covers and I'm putting it on my story and on my Instagram and on my TikTok, it's just like it's there forever. And
then you don't want to
overthink my voice. Yeah. And so.
But people don't do that anymore because of those shows, The Voice and America's Got Talent, because there's so many different variations of people and how they sing.
A person by how they look.
Yeah, and they'll get up there with their backs turned, and it's like a bomb-ass voice. Yeah, and they turn around and it's like this little person. Like, you're like, how do you have? You're this
Where's
big.
It coming out of?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
I've always had that too, where people will tell me like, wow, you don't look like you could sing, or like I'm like, oh, I didn't know like that voice would come out of you. Not that my voice is like life changing, but I guess maybe
you have a good
regular tone. Like but then like And then of course, like I'm like, ooh, I could just be like a Lana Del Rey knockoff, and I could just sing really sultry, and then just have like a fake cigarette, and just sing about like my daddy issues, and you know, and just sing like I'm in New York City, because I like that specific aesthetic too. Yes, it's very toxic and ugly, but I like it. We all have our
kind of my
pleasures.
love obsession with Amy Winehouse. Like,
absolutely. And she's just someone that was so unappreciated.
She
and
was
so, like, what's the word, like, for her time. They were not ready for her at the time.
She was
and
above her
now,
time. For sure.
she's so above her time, and it's just like.
I think so too. I think.
Her style, everything.
Everything.
Like, people were so mean to her. They just like massacred her in the press, and it's just like, oh, the ugly British fashion or whatever. And I look at her now, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with this woman.
There was nothing wrong. She had she did have Cher
misogynistic
vibes too.
They were just so sexist to her and just so ugly. But in the early 2000s, that's how they treated a lot of like Britney. Paris, Lindsay, it was just like habitually all these tabloids, which is what I kind of like about this new age of where we're at in social media. It's like they can control the narrative now. There's no, like, yes, there's still paparazzi following them, but it's not like that's where solely people are going to get their information from. It's like they can go on their own Instagram and kind of set the record straight, and there's no just like someone painting a false narrative, like someone's so clubbing late at night, where are their kids? And it's just like, well, no, that
would have been me last night.
It's okay. Well, we don't mom shame. We don't shame here.
Hey, some moms just need to like let loose.
Let loose, exactly.
Just not too loose.
Exactly.
All right. So, do you have the 7 questions?
I do. I really, really do. Let's see. So I'm gonna start off with some like lighthearted stuff, and then get into some more like they're not like super deep, but I just would love to hear your perspective, especially with someone like you that's always been into like modeling and obviously into fashion, and you know like the stylist that you were for Rad, and you know putting stuff together for people, especially shoots.
Yeah,
always with
Fashion at Work Women's Society is actually who gave me like the fashion coordinator title.
Okay, cool.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I was fashion coordinator, and I was like, oh my god, I kind of like it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's a great thing. So the first one that's like lighthearted is, what 2 songs should I listen to right now?
Rumors.
By who?
Lizzo and Cardi B.
Okay.
And Flowers.
Flowers by who?
Miley Cyrus.
Okay, those are some great songs. I love those.
Yeah.
I don't think I've listened to Rumors a lot, but I'm obsessed with Flowers. I love Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, me
Saw her
too.
in concert. She's phenomenal. Like, you would go
Her
lesbian
new
for
stuff
her.
is
Yeah.
I would totally go lesbian.
I love that the growth and the development of her voice over time. Like just
and her
huskier.
image.
Yeah, just unapologetic.
Yeah,
I love it. We love the growth. We love the transcendence into the amazing swan that she is.
But Flowers, that's
And like if you were to see her live, it's just like it's crazy, because when I saw her at Austin City Limits back in I think it was 2021, I knew who Miley Cyrus was. You know, I grew up with her, Hannah Montana. Like that's speaking of my age, right? Like,
yeah, our age.
And, yes, of course, ma'am. And it was like I was in middle school into high school, like following her, but then after a while, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, like Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana, so annoying. I'm getting older. I'm in high school. Like, no, like it's all about Twilight. Like,
yeah.
This is more serious stuff. Twilight and vampires. I don't need Hannah Montana and High School Musical anymore. And so, like, I think in a way too, with like the 2000s too, we harbor like this weird resentment towards women that were like in like Demi Lovato. You know, like we judged any girls that were in Disney Channel like so harshly, like they're just these teeny bopper girls or whatever. And so I think like I had this internalized misogyny towards them, but I grew up with their music. So when I went to see her, because we waited all day, and I was like, oh, I'd like to see Miley Cyrus. But before that was Megan Thee Stallion. I was so hyped for that. And after that was MGK. And so we pretty much stayed there all day because there was a great set list. And so when Miley Cyrus came, I was like, oh, this would be cool to see, you know? I was floored at how much nostalgia and how much I actually like really respected and knew all of her music. Like it's weird because like I'm not playing her music every single day.
No,
like, I'm
but
playing Lana
once
Del Rey.
you
It clicked. I was just like, this is my childhood, and I don't know why I was denying myself the acknowledgement that I love Miley Cyrus. She's so fucking cool, and like screw this like narrative that I built in my head that she's like a sellout or just like that I hate her, because that's me projecting.
She was
too,
also misrepresented so badly.
Yes, exactly. And so she'd play every single song, and she'd even play some of her Hannah Montana stuff, and I was just like, oh my god. And it was just like such a nice like culmination of me like in my 20s, late 20s, and then, you know, acknowledging my childhood and being like, you know what, I don't care. Like, I should not be ashamed of liking cute teeny popper, hyper feminine pop music, wearing pink,
So
and being
you are what 10 years younger than me though, right?
I'm 27.
Yeah, and I'm 37.
Right.
So how you feel about like I love Miley.
Right.
But
right.
that's how I feel about Britney.
Yeah,
because Britney was my era. So
right.
When
She heard her music all the time.
When she got her belly button pierced, I got mine. She was a cheerleader in that music video. I was a real cheerleader in real life.
Yeah.
Like I tried to make all those connections. So
right.
when in 2009, she went psycho and shaved her head.
Right.
And like when I got diagnosed with cancer, that's like I was like, fuck it, I'll just shave my head. Like,
yeah.
Like how if Britney could do it, like and she did it, and she was having a meltdown.
Yes,
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I had cancer too. So
yeah.
they're both kind of like shitty circumstances. But she was kind of like who I listened to over and over and over.
Right, and it's just always just there.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You realize how much of an impact she had on you.
And the Free Britney movement, I was like so into it.
Right.
I was about that. I followed everything. I still follow her. When she got married, and she married a Sam.
Yeah.
I married a Sam too.
Wow, you're just really adopting the Britney lore right now.
No. And I went blonde and all these things. But when I finally got to see her in concert, it was the same feeling, like the butterflies, the sweat. I was like, oh my god.
It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I have this reaction to her.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I idolized this woman. And it's crazy. I know.
So shout out to y'all.
We love you guys.
Right.
Thank you for humbling
right.
us and
for raising us a little bit.
A lot of it. I love that. But
okay, what's the other one?
Okay, so the next one, let me see. What's a celebrity you find overrated? And it could be an influencer too. You see all the time.
Kanye.
Do you say
that's overrated?
Yeah.
I think Kanye's overrated.
Kanye. Why would you say
I just
that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, just his morale to me is just. I feel like he's just fake.
Okay.
Like I think I really in my brain just from watching the Kardashians and things, like he does have two different personalities.
Right.
He has his home life, whatever, but then he has this real narcissistic. He's the
like
shit.
Public image.
Yeah. And I think that I met him this way, like, and then I see him on the Kardashians, like trying to be the better person and make it work.
Or kind of just there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the support he still has for his family.
Right.
But I do feel he's overrated.
Okay. Like in regards to his music or just him as
I don't really like his music either though.
Okay.
Like it doesn't move me.
Right. You never followed it.
It's not like Bruno Mars to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I fucking love that guy. And his pink jackets.
Oh my God. All right, fair enough. There are no wrong answers. All right.
Someone's gonna hate me for that one.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't hate you. I think at the same time, like to me, it kind of feels like, well, I don't know, maybe I'm being like a conspiracy theorist, but there's like theories like he's like he's trying to expose people and they're like trying to silence him or whatever, and he's acting very weird, and so I'm like, is this a cry for help just like with Britney, or is he really just narcissistic, like
and feeding into it
or like
his
because
ego?
There's some issues too here where like this man just seems as though he's mentally unwell too, and so it's kind of just like, who even knows really what's going on? And we can speculate and assume. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we can only just hope that they're not seriously harming anyone or themselves, because I would hate for that.
Just assume it's a publicity stunt.
Let's just assume.
And then that still puts them in the narcissistic.
Yeah. So then I guess you feel justified. Do you think though, if it were to come out, this whole light was shined on like that he was like kind of very similar to Britney, he's being controlled and like, this and that. Do you think it would change your opinion on like finding that he was overrated, knowing that all this stuff that he would do? Yeah, you think it would kind of like probably. But of course we'll never know.
We won't, right?
Yeah, we'll
let Kim tell us.
Kim tell us. Kim Ye, tell us the truth. Northie.
Write a book.
Northie will tell us. Chicago will tell us.
Right.
She's got a TikTok.
So that was 2, right?
Yes. Okay. So here's the next one. So what is your take on bimbo culture and embracing the aspect of plastic surgery? So bimbo culture, if you're not aware, is more of just like girls that are embracing like the dumb blonde, but as almost kind of like a satire.
Where they're trying to be like those are the ones trying to be the Barbies.
Yeah, but like
waist cinching and big boobs.
Yeah, but they're not necessarily like trying to. It's kind of got also like a feminist vibe to it as well. Where they're kind of just like, I'm gonna dress how I want, even if it's unreasonable. If it's 20-degree weather, I'm still gonna wear bikini tops and cute little Playboy bunnies, mini skirt, and this is that, and I'm gonna also put you in your place as a man, kind of thing, you know. And there's this one, I'm blanking on her name right now, but she has like a very big following on TikTok. She's great, I adore her, and she's very like vocal about her stances on like men telling her what to wear, what to do, but at the same time she's also dressing like very cute and provocative and stuff like that. So I was just curious about what you feel about all that stuff.
Okay, so I think to each their own.
Right.
I wear little shorts, but I'm petite, and so it elongates me.
Yeah.
But I like showing midriff. Right. I like see-through things.
Yeah.
I don't mind being naked.
Right.
You've seen my photos.
Of course, yeah.
You know, so and as far as plastic surgery, if I could get some tits, dude, I would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like to each their own. Everybody's entitled, and if you're that comfortable and that confident, like more power to you, because women aren't that confident usually.
Right.
There's more unconfident women that have so many issues with like just their interpretation of themselves.
Right.
And having someone like that pop in and like walk through here, like how you walk through here too, it's like it's like that's who I want to vibe with, because like at the end of the day,
that's who you have
that's
to live
who
with.
I have to live with myself. I have to look at myself. And
what do you think though about like that women that will get plastic surgery on, like, you know, changing parts of their bodies that they weren't necessarily born with, and they want it like fixed and changed? Do you feel any certain way about that at all, or do you think?
I think to each their own. I mean, I'm raising a transgender child who's going to be having top surgery and doing what
a lot of also gender modifications.
Yes.
Right.
So as far as plastic surgery, and all, like, to each their own.
Right. Because at the end of the day, what's going to help you achieve your best version of yourself and make you finally feel at peace with your insecurities. Yeah. Like, you know, so it's kind of just like...
luckily, like, not to be, like, too vain or narcissistic, I wouldn't change too many things about my personal body.
Yeah.
Just the breasts.
Just the breasts.
Yeah. But I do have, like, an anomaly going on with one of my breasts.
Right.
From like when I had cancer and was going through hormones kind of and like stuff. So that's kind of where my like insecurity lies. But nobody sees them really, and I've done photos and shown it, and people don't even notice. Like, but I just like to each their own. If you want to do what you want to do to make you happy and perfect and whole and harmonious, then do it. Because, like I said, like, me having a transgender child like really puts a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah, because then it really takes away from like, oh, well, she's just vain, she's getting bigger boobs because she wants to. But then when you see someone who's like, they grew up knowing that they are not the gender that they feel like they were born, and they want to do what they feel to be at peace, we shouldn't shame that.
But even like,
because then that makes us hypocrites.
It does.
So it's like, and I was talking to Marsha earlier today, because one of my biggest insecurities is my teeth. And so I was telling him, how is that any different, me getting braces and fixing my teeth to feel better about my smile and myself, than a girl who wants to go and get a BBL or get a boob job or get transgender a gender reassignment. Yeah, so and Marsha's like, well, you know, like, that's orthodontic stuff, and I'm like, I mean, I'm still if I have to fix my jaw for like an overbite, if I have one, that's surgery, you know. And it's just kind of just like, I was born with this teeth, and if everyone's telling everyone to keep what they have about themselves, how does that make me getting braces any different? You know what I mean? Or just the same with your daughter, you know?
Well, son,
sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Heads up, time's almost up. So let's go. Let's fit. We got 3 more minutes.
All right, here we go. All right. Is a chicken burger a sandwich or a burger?
A chicken sandwich?
Is a chicken burger a sandwich or a burger? What is your take on that?
It's a burger?
You think it's a burger?
No, it's on buns, right?
It's not a trick question. It's like,
but no, I'm thinking about it. So,
like in elementary school.
Because I thought burgers were if you put beef in patties, it's a burger. Because it's between 2 buns.
Right.
And then a sandwich could be different breads.
Yeah, but like chicken burger, like when I was in elementary school, they would be like, oh, chicken burger for lunch today. And it would be between like 2 wheat buns.
But that's a sandwich to me. I think.
I feel like
it's on a bun.
That feels like
it's
a burger to me.
I don't know. Dang it! I never thought about it. Let me think about it. Okay. I think a burger is if it's on a bun.
Right.
So if you put a chicken slab in between two buns, it becomes a burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a chicken sandwich if it's on like a hoagie.
I mean, we have to look at our examples. We have a Chick-fil-A sandwich. That's a sandwich. But it's also on like grilled buns too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to think of another sandwich. We got Wendy's, we got Burger King, and that's more like those long sesame seeds.
See, that's what I'm
very
saying.
Obviously a sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
yeah.
I
think
a good one. It's always a fun one that I have with my students, where I'll be like, "Okay, guys, I have a serious question to ask you. It's a chicken burger, a sandwich, or a burger?" And they're in uproar, and they're just like screaming at each other, and it's such a fun. You should ask your sons,
I am,
about
right?
That, see what they feel.
So you want to do one more?
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is still going to be recording.
Okay.
So if we get off of Anchor or Spotify, go to our YouTube about this time.
There you go.
And watch the video.
Okay, so I have one going back to like being a parent. It's interesting. I just wanted to get your take because you're a parent. I always love hearing, especially you're like a new age parent. You know, you're not like part of the baby boomer society, so you have a lot more open mind, especially with your transgender child. How do you feel about artists or individuals who, or in general, right, who groom younger adolescents or adults into being in a relationship with someone older? For example, Aaron Taylor Johnson was 16 when he met his wife, and as soon as he turned 18, he married her when she was 42. Or like Drake and Millie Bobby Brown. You know, Millie at this time was like, I don't know, 15 or 16, and she was getting boy advice from Drake. And a lot of people felt that was inappropriate. So like, how do you feel about where instances like that, regardless of gender, like what is your impression of like seeing that kind of like either red flag or like...
Okay, it's a red flag. Just think about it, like me and my husband are 10 years apart, right?
Right.
So when he was a senior in high school, I was in like second grade.
Right.
So like if I was in high school getting advice from him, it's closer to adulthood, you know what I mean?
Right, I think...
So I feel like if I was 16, 17, 18 and he was like 28, it's okay because I'm already like to that adult point to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I moved out at 17 and I didn't have to.
Right.
I was just ready for the responsibility of being on my own. So, and I had a great childhood.
Right.
My parents were very supportive. I was very spoiled. I was raised on the right side of the tracks. Like, they made money. We all got to do whatever we wanted, like, as far as, like, sports, and I did competitive cheerleading.
Right.
So I have a good upbringing. But when I turned 17, I did move out, and my boyfriend was 5 years older.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And so I moved into him, too.
Yeah.
And then when I got pregnant at 19, my husband at the time was almost 6 years older, or 5 years older, too. You know what I mean? So I personally have always dated older men, so you know, I think that if they're 13 and he's a 25-year-old, that's too far of a gap.
That's already pedophilia.
But I feel like if they're 16, 17, 18 and they are talking to an older person and they bond, I mean, you can't control that. You can't control the connection. You could be 20 years apart and still have like 100 things in common. You know what I mean? So I guess
I think it's just kind of hard because I know like the brain for women, or I don't know if an adult in general, doesn't mature until 25. You know, and so some would even wager that 21, 20, or 19 is still pretty young for a girl to be in a serious relationship with someone who's 40. You know? So even I like.
But Hugh Hefner and his like playmates, he was like old as.
Oh, I know, and
they were so young.
He was very abusive to them.
Yeah,
it was a very ugly like.
So you know,
Linda Lovelace, like poor thing. She went through some terrible stuff. There was like a lot of.
And Holly Madison.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She spoke out.
Her memoir. Yeah.
Like just complete. I saw her at her peep show in Vegas.
Oh, nice.
When she finally left, you know, was going and doing her own thing, and you could totally see the transformation from how just her overall being was on, you know, all that,
and what she went through.
And now to see her, she's just.
Because I think it's just interesting too, like those are like formative years, so even I would say 16 or 17, like I know it's true you can't necessarily control it, but I even feel like 16 or 17 is still like too young. But you know, like at the end of the day, hopefully they're
for a 40-year-old,
okay.
yeah,
right. Which
but being a 5 years difference.
Because the thing is, the whole idea with grooming too is that like with Aaron Taylor Johnson's case that I brought up was that I think that woman that he married was a family friend for years, so she knew him since he was little. So it's almost predatory that she's been with him his whole life, and there's this idea that like she groomed him into like wanting to be in a relationship with her, like she was always there, and like they're still together, but he's never been with anybody else, and it's kind of like this idea like how healthy is that kind of relationship or dynamic when she was 42 and he's 18, like her son is the same age as him. Like that's just But yeah, I just was curious to hear your thought on that. But your own personal life also, has some input into it as well. Everyone's opinion is valid, or
that's
take is valid.
My son is 15 and he hangs out around with a girl that's 18 and has a car, but she's a senior. He's a sophomore.
See, and that's not crazy.
No,
jump, but
she still
15,
has a car.
Yeah,
lets him drive it and things. I'm like,
yeah,
but
so 15 is it's.
But she's not 42.
Yeah,
she's not
not predatory.
No.
Yeah. So when it's like a 30-year-old with it's weird. I guess you got to look at the situation too. It's on a case by case basis, but it is really odd.
It is odd.
You hear cases of like I think was it Travis Scott or Tyga that like he was a lot older than Kylie Jenner, and then as soon as like she turned 18. They started dating.
And then she got.
So there's always that they always wait and they're and I'm just like, oh, that's gross. Jerry Seinfeld did it too.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
Yeah, he
did. Like 40 and she was like 19.
She was little. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like cases where I'm like, that didn't age well.
Do you have another one?
I mean, yes. Let me see. Okay, so with the resurgence of Y2K culture, is there something you're excited that's coming back, or something that needs to stay in the past? Especially you having lived that, and that's such a like wonderful time for you, I'm sure.
Such an 80s dude. If I can dress like any sorts of way, like I think the
like
plastic.
Even a brand. Think of a brand that you like.
You remember Jinkos? I'm older than you, but they're Jinkos. They're like really tight, but. Like they were really wide leg.
Okay.
Huge.
I think I kind of
It was like the bigger jeans, like the better back then.
Yeah.
And then you wear your shell top like Adidas shoes.
Yeah.
I would totally rock that now.
Okay.
I rocked it a little back then, but I was more of a Doc Marten.
Oh yeah, because you were a cheerleader, right? So
so I wore the Mary Jane Doc Martens
and
the Doc sandals that had like this
the thick wet. Those
and
the jelly sandals.
Yes, the little heel. And so I was really back then an express kind of shopper.
Yeah.
But after like seeing like that, and they're making a comeback because things are getting wider and wider. Are you think like they're like they're not gauchos, they're wide leg pants. And I've recently purchased a pair of wide leg jeans, and Sam actually likes them because they're form fitting up top, but they're just super wide. And with like the right shoes, it makes me look elongated.
Yeah, those are fun. If you're not on the right confident person too, or just the right frame and how you set it up, it could like it's swimming on you.
So I think
it's a hard look to pull.
It is.
Kudos to you.
But I also found a pair of black leather pants, that same style, with the pleat here, but super wide leg, and I rocked those a couple weeks ago and got a lot of compliments.
That's awesome.
So those are probably like the wide leg, like the wide leg.
Yeah.
But Jinkos is like the brand back then, and the Stussy brand.
Yeah. Those are so hard to find now too. Like if you find those in thrift stores, it's like, oh my gosh, like the thrift baddies would like lose their mind. Like I'm always trying to look for like micro mini skirts or wide leg pants because like it's like those are like holy grail items.
And they're scarce.
It's
like where did they go?
I know, like someone's gatekeeping all of them and keeping them in their closet. I'm like, I know you're not wearing them.
I think that and shoulder pads.
You want to come back?
I love shoulder pads.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and I'm pretty petite, but I like.
What is it about shoulder pads that appeals to you? Because even now, like I'm always just like, what is like growing up? I'd go to like Goodwill and I'd find things with shoulder pads and see like in the 80s, I'm like, why shoulder pads? I'm like, they just feel so awkward. But I don't know, what is it?
So they feel awkward, but I like the way it looks. I like the square. I
like the silhouette. I'm sure
I like the pillow, the sleeve, but they had the shoulder pads in to keep it up. You know what I mean?
Add structure to it. It's not just frumpy.
Yeah. and it kind of gives you that like back in the day Sex and the City vibes where
I love Sex.
they wore
Just
everything
very, like,
was
power
pointing.
suits.
Yeah,
Very power suits.
Yeah,
Samantha.
Yeah, so that's kind of
Okay, cool. I can see that. I was at Goodwill yesterday, and there was this brand called My Michelle, and it had a tag from JCPenney, and you could tell it was like old JCPenney, and it was like a $60 dress, and it was this gorgeous green velvet, like little dress, and it had the shoulder pads, and that was probably like the only reason I didn't get it, because it kind of deterred me. I was like, I know, you would have
next time take a picture and send it to me. I'll cash out for you money.
It was cool. Like it had the original tags and everything.
No, I love shoulder pads.
I know, you would look so cute in it. It was a nice, like, so lovely forest green.
That's people don't know that. But if you see any of my blazers that like I actually wear, I'll stuff.
Cool.
Or I'll be like, these have shoulder pads.
Honestly, I always go to Goodwill and I constantly find things with shoulder pads. So I'm sorry.
I need to start shopping more.
Yeah, you need to come with me.
I do.
I found 2 Skims dresses yesterday at Goodwill.
Some like here or in Kingsville?
In Kingsville, yeah. Okay. I found 2 Skims
dresses. I need to come
dresses.
to Kingsville then.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I find a lot of like Phel skirts and stuff. So.
Phel brand. Oh my god, I used to wear those shoes too. Mm-hmm. And they're coming back with the chunky.
Oh yeah, you already know how I wear those all the time.
Yeah, they're
short.
so cute.
I have to. Yeah, they're so comfortable. They're so worth
cute.
it. My kids are like, your shoes are so big. I'm like, yeah.
It's like I stomp around.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then when I don't wear them, they're like, you're so short. And I'm like, shut up.
I know.
I get it.
Is that the last one?
I think I have one last one. Okay, so what is your take on fast fashion brands like Shein, Fashion Nova, and even Amazon that promote fashion, like trendy fashion at affordable prices, but not the best quality for all size races, but get a short cycle and end up just in landfills? Like, what is your take on like the fact that it's supposedly enables sweatshops and like environmental waste and people that like buy like $900 like Shein hauls and only for it to all be at Goodwill? And I promise you, every time I go to Goodwill, there's like Wrong Way, Shein, and all this stuff there, and you know.
So when those brands first dropped, I initially jumped on the bandwagon.
Right.
I didn't know the background of like sweatshops and things. Like I naturally do not think of those things when I'm shopping.
Right. Not a lot of people do. That's not anything against.
But I did notice that the quality was a one-time wear.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah, once you wash it, the seam came out, like it was you're done for. But I also live my life on if I've been pictured in it, if it's been on the internet, if I've already put it on TikTok, I don't wear that outfit again.
Right, you're not an after repeater.
But I will exchange it with other things.
Right, and try to like.
So Shein would work for me, I guess. But I don't shop
there as much
anymore. I don't even shop on Amazon for clothes.
Right.
I like to go into a store. I like to like browse. I like to do the whole shopping experience.
Yeah.
The only reason why I did initially shop, they were for bathing suits because you can get cheap bathing suits.
Oh my gosh, I know.
And they're really cute bathing suits, but the cuts always came out kind of weird. They're never true to size.
Yeah.
Or like
it's always that gamble too.
Yeah.
The true to size is the biggest gamble. It is a bit of a wait. You don't wait as long anymore. They're a lot quicker with the shipping. Still gotta wait a little bit, like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I feel you with that. Yeah. And it's just.
So I just think if I need something and I need something, like I just go to the store. Yeah. And I'm a fashion person to an extent because I will go to Forever 21 and only shop in clearance.
Yeah,
and find 5 or 6 outfits.
Because it's great there. Yeah. And I remember you have the wardrobe set up for a fashion show.
Yeah. So
you can find some really good pieces.
And
because you know that if those don't get bought, those just end up all in a landfill. Yeah, it's very unfortunate because of how fast trendy items get out of fashion.
Instead of them though, they should be, donating it out to the women's shelters and things like that because those women, they need clothes, they need all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Maybe we should advocate for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, instead of throwing all these out, give them to us so we can go to the women's shelter, so we can have a fashion free for all that they come get an HEB bag and you can come through our studio and just fill up your HEB bag and go.
Yeah,
free.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And if you're not going to use it anymore and it's in a super tattered condition, bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Because I think the biggest issue with Shein, and I'm acknowledging that I also shop from there. I'm a person that I try my best to use it as long as I can. And there might have been like 2-3 things that I've like donated to Goodwill because I just realized this was a trendy piece and I don't see myself wearing this. I'm now becoming much more of a conscious buyer where it's just like, okay, is this something I'm going to wear again? I would like to try and repurpose it in different ways.
Yeah.
because, and at the same time, like, okay, we know the quality is not going to always be there, so what are you willing to let go when it comes to, like, okay, this top is not going to have the best quality, this corset is not going to have the best quality, like, is that what you really want to spend your money on?
Yeah.
But I also don't want people out there shaming other people into not buying these affordable brands, because unfortunately, like, if you're plus size, if your body is a specific size, and all the clothing you find don't fit you, and you find them all on Shein, and they're affordable, and you live in an area that doesn't have a thrift store, they have boutiques, shop local, but they're super expensive, or you have to drive out. I don't think women, especially plus size women, should be ashamed to not buying things that they want because it's unethical. Yeah. It's only unethical if you're those people that, like, and you can see them on TikTok, they're spending $1,000 on boxes of things that they're never gonna wear. Like, quite literally, they just end up throwing it away or returning it. And then when they return it, they put it in the landfill. They can't resell it. And I think that's the biggest problem. Like, people want to stigmatize anybody who shops fast fashion, but that we are not the ones that are contributing to that. It's those influencers or people that are. And it's very interesting. Someone said in an article once that it's the people, because she made over $13 billion last year in sales. Mm-hmm. And it's actually not the lower income people like us giving them that money. It's actually the rich people that can afford those big hauls. Yeah. So it's something to really think about. Where it's like rich people love to buy the cheap stuff from what I understand, like the dupes and the DHgate stuff, and just for clout. Yeah. And so it's very interesting. Like, I don't think we're like all contributing to that, or at least me. Like, knowing the stuff like the Harry Styles top, everyone gave me shit for, and I was just like, okay, I still have that top. I still wear it. It's sitting in my closet. Like, back off. Like, and so I want like to impress that on you too. Like, if you have somebody and you feel like someone's getting after that friend, or even if you're getting after yourself, remind yourself too, though, like, we are not supposed to shame. There's no ethical way to consume stuff in capitalism. That's just how it is. It just sucks. Yeah. Like, there's always a hindrance, and especially me being a Hispanic woman with the weird body size and my weight fluctuating, and being in Kingsville where there's nowhere to shop but Walmart and Goodwill. What options do I have? I'm not going to be a freaking minimalist and live in a satchel bag as a dress.
I shop at Dollar General.
Excuse me, sir. But yeah, so I think that was my last one.
That was the last one?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to put out there into the world?
What do I want to put out there into the world? I think let people, embrace their space, live the best life that they possibly can. Try your best not to hold any regrets, and don't let anybody stop you from achieving whatever it is you want. Even if it's something minimal, like putting some songs on SoundCloud or starting a podcast. Like, spread kindness, and just like do your best to but never forget any dreams or passions that you have. I think the biggest thing is just constantly keeping yourself creative and happy, and putting yourself first too, at the end of the day. Like, me is concerts, fashion, and traveling. And that's probably one of the reasons why I'm still not ready to start a family yet. Yeah. I have so many people I need to see. So many famous people I want to sign my forehead or something.
She didn't say boobs, she said forehead.
Yeah, I said falter, of course. No, that's inappropriate. I am a teacher.
Back in the day, it was all...
Sign my baby, please.
Yeah.
You see Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, ma'am, I'll sign your baby. And he's like with the Sharpie on the forehead. So yeah, but that's it. I just, I don't know, be peaceful and loving.
I love her. This is why I had you. We've already talked a long time.
It's great.
It's great.
We have so much content.
All right, everybody, thank you for watching the Phel Me, because you Phel Me show with some cat action. Like her page, watch her TikToks, like my page. Be nice.
Or you will be blocked. Okay. I'm not above blocking you.
I'm not above
also
it.
roasting you too.
Yeah, and you'll be the topic of our next.
Oh Jesus.
We'll have you back though. We're gonna have to do a follow up and all this.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
I appreciate everybody